Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino Listener by me. So let's get into it. The air in the grand hall is thick with tension, conversations overlapping, and a carefully orchestrated dance of power in politics. Patsui officers, informants, and lesser nobles hover around like vultures, watching and waiting, analyzing every single move. You stand beside Arlecchino, feeling the weight of the gazes on you. You're no stranger to the scrutiny that comes with being associated with her, the infamous harbinger, feared and respected in equal measure. But tonight, the stares are different. It started subtly. A noble, too bold for her own good, had approached you while Arlecchino was momentarily distracted. Her voice was smooth, her words carefully chosen. Flattery dripped from her lips like poison. You must get lonely being in her shadow all the time, she mused, swirling her glass of wine lazily. She's powerful, yes, but power comes at a cost, doesn't it? I imagine you'd prefer the company of someone a little gentler. Your grip on your own ring tightened, annoyance simmering beneath your skin, and before you could respond, a familiar presence materialized beside you. Arlecchino herself. She had not spoken yet, but the way the noble immediately stiffened, the way the air seemed to chill, it was enough to make your pulse quicken. Her hand found your waist, a slow, deliberate touch that sent a clear message before she even opened her mouth. The company Lion prefers is already spoken for. And the noble swallowed hard. But, to her credit, she tried to keep her composure. Ah, Lady Arlecchino, I was merely making— Lord Arlecchino. My apologies. Arlecchino tilted her head slightly, her expression unreadable, but her eyes, crimson and sharp, were locked into the woman like a predator sizing up its prey. Is that what you call it? How interesting. Because from where I'm standing, it looked an awful lot like you were forgetting your place. The noble tensed. I meant no disrespect, I really mean it. You did. And I am very, very generous when it comes to overlooking foolish mistakes. Arlecchino said, her fingers tapping idly against the hilt of the dagger at her hip, and the implication hung in the air. And she leaned in, voice dropping to something softer, deadlier. But let me make one thing very clear, she continued, her fingers trailing along your waist before gripping your hip tightly. They are mine, and I do not share what is mine. And there was silence. The noble's face paled, her confidence grumbling under the weight of her words. And she muttered a hasty excuse, something about needing to speak with someone across the room, and disappeared into the crowd. The moment she was gone, Arlecchino finally turned her attention back to you. You didn't need to do that, he murmured, though the warmth blooming in your chest betrayed the words. She smirked. Didn't I? You rolled your eyes, but leaned into her touch nonetheless. I could have handled him. Her gaze softened, just slightly, just enough for you to notice. I know you could have, but I wanted to handle it. Because you are mine. And your breath caught. The way she said those words with a little smile. And he knew that this time, as she said them in a softer way, there was something possessive in them, but also fond. Arlecchino was not a woman who made empty claims. When she said something, she meant it. You swallowed, searching her face. Yours? Her fingers trailed up your arm, slow and deliberate. Yes, she murmured, brushing her lip against your ear, barely audible above the chatter of the room, unequivocally. And a shiver ran down your spine. The rest of the world seemed to blur at the edges, the noise fading to the background. There was only her, the way she stood close, the way her fingers ghosted over your skin, and the way her voice wrapped around you like a promise. You're enjoying this too much, you accused, although your voice lacked the conviction, and it was not like you minded. You wanted this, craved this, just as much as Arlecchino did. And she chuckled. Of course I am. You shook your head, unable to stop the small smile that tugged at your lips. You really like scaring people off, don't you? I don't think this is just about me anymore. Arlecchino tilted your chin up, pressing the faintest kiss against your lips, before pulling back just enough to whisper, only when they forget who you belong to. It's really all about you, Ion. But I will not deny that I do enjoy seeing them squirm in their seats. The way they fidget and get nervous, not knowing what to do. It's all a little bit too predictable. But it's fun. You couldn't help but laugh softly. But by the way your heart was racing, and your fingers curled into her coat, she could tell that you didn't mind belonging to her at all. And that was perfect, because in the end, that was the way that Arlecchino wanted things to be. You were hers, and she would do everything within her might just to keep it that way.